for Brock.
Corey, it's gonna have some Murray. Thank you for coming.
So I hope everybody, stop at the Jolly Mug, is having a good time here. Our next speaker would be Gerald Chip Murray.
I'll have your strawberries instead.
Huh?
It wasn't exciting.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for joining us in our celebration here today. I'd like to welcome all our new extended family and our friends. There's a few special people I would like to make mention of. My beautiful wife of 33 years, Carol. My mom, Marie, or Jude Murray. My longtime friend and mother-in-law, Peggy Dow. And of course, my two special buddies, my grandsons, Riley and Quinn McDonald.
Getting too much action.
As best man, I'm obligated to say a few words about Joe. Joe was a special addition to the family when he arrived. It took us about 7 years after his sister was born to get him, but he was worth the wait. He wasn't perfect. He was missing a valve on his bladder, and we decided to keep him in. Joey loved to play. You could always take him anywhere, as long as there was a toy there. Now when it came to school, that's when the problem came. I'll never forget his good friend and buddy Cheddar, who's in the wedding party here today, knocking on the door for Joey to go to school. They had no books, no backpacks, just a ground hockey net and a couple of sticks. I'm thinking there's two boys that could solve that global warming. I remember checking Joey's homework and being a little worried. His teacher sent 10 different topics home for him to make sentences with. Every sentence began with Mary Lemieux. Growing up, Joey was a pretty normal boy. Played hockey, baseball. He broke his leg, tore his tongue half off, wrestling with his sister. He once batted a marble with a baseball bat, took out the engine barn with a brand new Honda Accord. That set me back about a month's pay.
I remember that.
He started experimenting, probably a little younger than the average kid. I recall Carol and I coming home from the Jolly Mug shortly after we had opened. Pulled in the driveway, the lights were off. We were thinking, what a good kid. He's home, he put himself to bed. When we opened the door, there was a puddle of stuff right down, leading right to his bedroom. There he was, clothes on, passed out. Covered him up and cleaned up, and then decided we'll speak with him in the morning. Most of the kids experimenting, they usually start off with a cheap beer or a bottle of wine. I asked Joey, did you have a drink last night, Joe? He said, Fireball whiskey. What's on for tonight, moonshine? I remember a famous quote Joey made when he was about 12. We traveled by bus to Boston for a hockey tournament. We're at the end of it, about day 7 or 8. We're getting close to home now. Things are very quiet. We had enough of the 14 screaming kids. Burnout, broke, sick of the bus, and we lost the championship game 4-3. Joe's got the window seat, so I led him up to go use the washroom, which by that time was pretty gross. He comes back to the seat, so I led him up to get in. He says, as serious as could be, "Dad, you'd think a few of these women would get together and clean up that bathroom." At that point, I knew marriage was a long way off. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say a few words about Vanessa. Carol and I had the pleasure of Joey and Vanessa living in our home for about a year. We would always know if Vanessa was home. If she was early, she'd be in my parking place. And if she was late, you would hear her going around the house like a Clydesdale in those gigantic wooden shoes. Vanessa's the only person I know that got refused membership to CAA. On the average, she locks her keys in the car about once a week. I must say, she came close. She makes a beautiful dill pickle microwave popcorn. On a serious note, we have some fond memories of the time they spent with us. Vanessa's always treated Carol and I with respect, and we love her very much. I'm proud of Joe and Vanessa. They have accomplished a lot in a short time. They're all about family and friends. Just don't forget to keep it growing. This is only day 1. Myself, I've got the best job in the world. I get to play golf, pool, and work side by side with my best friends. If he keeps practicing, someday he'll be the best bartender at the Jolly Monkey. I'm going to finish off with a couple of small gifts for Joe. In case he's nervous tonight, I brought along his Smurf. Who spent the first 10 years of his life every night by his side. His name is Little Guy. This would be Little Guy here. Before I give him his second gift, I'll read a quote I heard at the bar. It's 2 movie ladies discussing oral sex. One said to the other, "My dear, if the good Lord had meant for us girls to have oral sex, He would have had that thing tasting like Bailey's."